Hey guys, this is Mike, the Detroit Borg, with a look at the keyboard dock for the Asus ePad Transformer Prime. Now, you've seen me do a review of the Asus Transformer Prime in my previous video, and one of the features that drawed me to the Asus Transformer Prime was this optional keyboard dock, which sells separately for $149. So it's not just a keyboard, it's also a trackpad. It adds additional battery life, so it has an internal battery that adds 6 more hours to the 12 hours of the battery in the Asus Transformer Prime itself. It adds additional I/O ports, including a USB port and a full-size SD card slot, and of course you get a trackpad, so you have full mousing capabilities on your Android tablet. So this is available in 2 colors that match the Asus Transformer Prime. So this is the champagne gold color, which is what I got here, but this is also available in the matching amethyst blue color. So if you have that version of the tablet, you can get a matching one as well. So first thing we want to do is get the plastic off this box so we can take a look around. Alright, so let's just lift the lid, and there is the keyboard dock. We have a little plastic tab here to pull the dock out of its packaging. Pretty nice. Before we look at that, let's see what we get inside the box. So we have another packet of literature here. So again, a little instruction manual, user's manual. Probably going to tell you how to install this. We also have a microfiber cleaning cloth. And that's all there is to it, so let's get to the dock itself. Alright, so let's go ahead and peel the plastic off. We have all these tabs here, so this basically should come off like an envelope. There we go. Now, taking a look around, we have this low-profile chiclet-style keyboard. They're all black buttons. They are not backlit in any way. And of course, we have this trackpad, which is clickable. And it's also tap to touch, so just like a laptop you're used to. And we have this metal construction on the top and the back, so this is all metal. Has that same sort of grain to it like the Asus Transformer Prime. We have these rubber feet for anti-skid when you're using it on a desktop. We have a USB port here with an insert, so we can take this out. If I had fingernails, that'd be easier. So there we go, that's our USB 2.0 port. On this side, we have our SD card slot with a dummy in it right now, so if we just push it in, it's spring-loaded and pops right out. Let's insert one right now so we can take a look at it once we get the Transformer Prime connected. There you go. So if you want to eject it, just again spring-loaded. Now on the other side, we have that proprietary Asus 40-pin connector for charging your dock. So this will charge your dock as well as connect to the Asus Transformer Prime itself and charge that and connect it to a computer. On the bottom, you'll also find these screws which hold the back panel in place. But what's interesting here is that they're also pentulobular, just like on the MacBook Air. Toward the back, you'll see the hinge, which is folded right now. So if you just roll this back, it's a little stiff. There you go, gives you plenty of room to angle it, and you can see it actually sort of raises on that hinge, so when you're removing this, this will actually raise it and increase your angle. Now taking a look at this folding hinge, you can see on either side are these clasps right here that interface with the dock, or with the Transformer Prime. They basically lock it into place, and toward the center is a 40-pin connector, which again connects to the Transformer Prime and allows it to interface and charge it. So again, it is folding, so it rolls back. So when you roll it back, you can see you have a lock here, and we'll take a look at that once we connect the Transformer Prime. There's also a little detail here, which is just decorative, so it's got this textured finish. Now on the bottom of the Transformer Prime are these little cutouts that allow the keyboard dock to lock into place. Now when you first get your Transformer Prime, you will have these inserts in here, which are kind of hard to remove. I actually had to use a razor blade in order to get them out, but if you have fingernails, you should be able to get them out. And you also have your dock connector here. So in order to interface or in order to connect this, all you have to do is drop it into place. Now in order to help you line it up, they do include these little arrows here, so you just have to line it up and snap it into place, and you can see it has locked into place. Now in order to release the keyboard, all you have to do is slide this to the left and pull up. Now with the keyboard installed, we can take a look around, and if we look in profile, you can see it's actually pretty thin. It's kind of like a Ultrabook. Maybe not as thin as an Ultrabook or not as thin as a MacBook Air, which we'll compare to in just a minute, but it's still pretty portable and pretty lightweight. Certainly that hinge adds some thickness to it. But as you can see, when you've closed it, it does put the tablet to sleep, so in order to wake it up, all you have to do is reopen it. There you go, wakes up, close it, goes to sleep. Now when you connect the keyboard dock, you also get another battery indicator. One for the Asus Transformer Prime on the right, and on the left is one for the keyboard dock. So you see I'm about half charged right now. So if I want to charge this, all I have to do is connect the 40-pin connector on the left side. As soon as you connect the keyboard dock, you have a mouse and cursor with this trackpad. And again, this trackpad is click or tap. So for example, if we want to go to Internet Explorer, we can just tap to bring it up. And if we want to use the keyboard, just start typing in. Now this keyboard also has keys specific to Android. So for example, we have the home button, which will take you to the home screen. We have the search button, which will bring you to search. We also have the menu button here. Now this appears to have been designed before Ice Cream Sandwich was launched, because we do not have a recent apps button. On the top row, we have all these function keys, which again are unique to the Asus Transformer Prime. So on the left side, we have a back button here, again, which is unique to Android. We also have the Wi-Fi toggle on and off. We have a Bluetooth on and off. We can toggle the trackpad on and off. We also have screen control, so here we can decrease the brightness of the screen or increase. We can also set it to auto. We also have a screen capture button, which allows you to take a screen grab. We have an internet button, which will bring you to the browser. We have a settings button, which will bring you to settings. And we have our media controls for back, skip, play, pause, forward. We have our volume controls, so mute, volume up, volume down. And we have lock, so this will lock it. Unfortunately, you can't wake it up from this button, so instead you have to go to the physical button on the pad itself. Now you also have some multi-touch with this trackpad, so if you're on the home screen and you use your two fingers, you can scroll through your home screens. Or if you're in an app, let's go to my zine, which is my photo gallery here. You can swipe through them. And you can double tap to zoom. And you can also continue using the touchscreen if you want. So if you don't want to use your trackpad, you're still able to use that. Now the next thing I want to do is take a look at that SD card slot, and the system automatically detects when an SD card slot is installed. So you can see in the notification tray that it's detected the SD card slot. So what I've done is gone to my file manager to access it. So you can see my internal storage and my SD card slot along with all the content under my SD card. So here I have photos, music, and video. So let's go ahead and take a look at photos. These are photos I took of the Asus Transformer Prime. So you can see it populates them, and you can scroll through them on the touchscreen, or you can use the trackpad to swipe through them. So let's see if it's caught up yet. It's still populating the list. Sometimes you have to wait for that to finish before you can start swiping through. So let's see if it works now. There we go. And we can go back, take a look at some music. And let's go ahead and play a track of Coldplay here. And we're going to use Google Music to play it back. And of course we have our media controls here. Increase volume, decrease it, and mute it. And if we go back to the SD card slot, we can also play video. This is one of my recent videos.
What's going on, guys? This is Mike, the Detroit.
So we can pause it, play it, and if we want to scrub it, we kind of have to swipe it like that. And the USB connector works the same, so you can either attach a USB thumb drive like this flash drive, or a spinning hard drive like this portable Western Digital. So this is formatted in FAT32, which you need in order for this to work. Just go to your file manager, and I'm under USB disk 1. We can take a look at my photo album of the Asus Transformer Prime. Just tap on that, brings us right to it. So again, the USB port is powerful enough to power the USB drive. Now, while these are not direct competitors, I think a lot of people who are considering the Asus Transformer Prime might also be considering the MacBook Air. And that's thanks largely to this keyboard. So once you add this keyboard to the Asus Transformer Prime, it sort of resembles the MacBook Air. So we have this full-size chiclet style keyboard, just like the MacBook Air. It's not as wide as the MacBook Air. So in fact, if you put it on top of the MacBook Air, you can see it's not as wide, so it's not as spacious. Although, while using this keyboard, I still think it's very comfortable. It doesn't really feel too tight or cramped. The Asus Transformer Prime is also a little heavier and a little thicker. So the Asus Transformer Prime is 2 ounces, or 2 pounds, 7.5 ounces, while the MacBook Air is 2 pounds, 6 ounces. So there's not a big difference there. It is a little thinner, so if we close them, take a look at the thickness. You can see there the Asus Transformer Prime, thanks largely to that hinge, is a little thicker. But you'll notice that the Transformer Prime also has this sort of wedge-shaped design. So again, like the MacBook Air, this provides a more comfortable angle for typing. And another thing about the MacBook Air is the fact that it has no SD card slot unless you get the 13-inch model, while the Asus Transformer Prime gives you 2 when it's combined with the keyboard dock. Another great thing about this Prime is that it also gives you 16 hours of battery life. So with that extended battery on the keyboard dock with the Asus Transformer Prime, that gives you 16 hours, while the MacBook Air only does about 6 hours. So if you want to travel and you want a lightweight laptop, I think the Asus Transformer Prime is certainly something to take a look at. Now the keyboard dock is fairly stable, although the screen obviously is more top heavy than an Ultrabook or the MacBook Air. It's pretty comfortable. It doesn't want to tip over too easily, but you can certainly do so just by tapping the top of the screen. But it's otherwise fairly well balanced, and certainly if you keep it at a more comfortable angle like that, you're not going to have to worry too much about it tipping over. That certainly was my concern when I first heard about the keyboard dock, was that the tablet was going to be too top heavy. But because the tablet itself is pretty lightweight, it does a pretty good job balancing itself out with the keyboard. Now, overall, I'm very impressed with the keyboard dock for the Asus Transformer Prime. It's a very high quality product. It's very smartly designed. It certainly turns the Asus Transformer Prime into more than just another Android tablet. The Asus Transformer Prime is already a superb Android tablet, very lightweight, very powerful, and with Android 4.0, it certainly is the best option out there. Add this keyboard dock for only $149, and you get something that resembles an Ultrabook, certainly not as powerful, but certainly gets the job done for most people. So if you want both a tablet and an Ultra portable with a keyboard, this is definitely something to take a look at. So you get the best of a touchscreen tablet device and a keyboard, and you have everything in one package. So I think this is something that a lot of people are going to be interested in. I'm certainly a big fan, and I really hope to see a keyboard accessory like this for the iPad 3 when it comes out. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.